Hey guys, this is Stacy Rossetti, and I am here to teach you how to invest in real estate, right? Okay, so today what I'm going to teach you is what I teach all of my students. I've been teaching it now for about 5 years, and I love the way that this is taught because it really systematizes your business, although you really, in your mind, you don't really understand that you have this, all right? And what I call this is my 6 department system. That's it. It's 6 departments. And in every real estate investor's business, any type of business, any type of niche, you have these 6 departments, right? And if you can really separate all of those departments out and then list out everything that you do within the departments, what you could do is really visually see how you're running your company. And then on top of that, you can see all the different tasks that belong to each of those departments. And then you can look and see, okay, like these are the things that I do over and over and over again. So these are the things that I should create systems for, right? So I'm going to show you how to take the 6 department system, visually write it down, and then write down the different kinds of tasks that you have within those departments so that you can maybe start thinking about what are the things that I'm doing over and over again and how can I systematize those, okay? So if you don't know, if anybody doesn't know, I'm huge on systems. I've been teaching systematizing your office, systematizing your rehabs and your investing business for many, many years now. And I'm actually starting 2 masterminds. I have 3 masterminds right now going. I have a self-storage mastermind. I have real estate investing for beginners mastermind. And I have a rehabbing mastermind as well too. So if you're interested, make sure you go to my website and check all that out. But today what I wanted to focus on was just how to organize your departments so that you can internally see how you can start systematizing those things. All right, so like I said, we have 6 departments now, okay? So I'm gonna just draw these out. And this is how every single business is gonna look, right, when you first start out. Now, and this is going to be you, right? So this is you, all right? And these are your companies, okay? I mean, these are the companies. These are your departments. This is your company. This is your department. So the very first department that you're always going to have in your business is your office, right? Your office, right? And this is your like admin, right? This is your phones. This is setting up your LLC and your S Corps and whatever you want to do. This is how you do your files. This is how you handle your drive or the cloud, how you're handling all the internal documents of your business, okay? That's called your office, all right? The second department that we have is your marketing department. And notice as I go through these departments, it's really a step-by-step process. We're actually systematizing your process within your business as well as we go through these departments, okay? So the next department that you have is your marketing department, okay? And inside your marketing department, what do? You have to pick 3 to 5 different strategies to find properties. Right? And we'll do another video later on what those strategies could be, but essentially you would have all your strategies underneath your marketing, right? So if you're doing bandit signs or you're doing cold calling or text blasts or direct mail or SEO, PPC, whatever those strategies are, then this is where that marketing department would be, right? So what you would want to do is as you're going through this, you can list out all of the different marketing strategies that you have under your departments. These are the things that I do internally in my company to get the phone ringing, right? And I do this, and this, okay? Now this department here, this is your acquisitions department, right? Acquisitions. Right, so your acquisitions department is where you're going to harness the ARV formula, okay? The ARV formula, if you don't know, is the after repair value formula, okay? So it's the ARV formula, which means after repair value, all right, after repair value, which is actually the house that you're going to be selling or the property that you're going to be selling, what is it actually valued at if it's the most beautiful house in the entire world, right? So for instance, like in storage facilities, you have like the amount that you could be making if it was 100% full, and the amount that you're making like right now in a rental, right? Like, okay, right now it's, you know, only making $500 a month, but if I go in and redo the kitchen and clean it up, I could probably make like $800 a month, right? So it's that ARV, it's what can you sell it at after it's beautiful, right? So what that means is that you would want to, and the way that you get your ARV is in the acquisitions department, is you have to run comps, right? To get your ARV, you have to run comps, or you have to know what the comps are. And comp is just comparative, like a comparative market analysis, right? It's the amount that you're going to be selling the house for, or what it's going to be appraised for when it's at the best that it can possibly be, okay? And the second thing that you're going to be doing is you're going to have to do repair estimates, right? Repair estimates. Now this is not putting together a scope of work or spec sheets or anything like that. All that is right here in the acquisitions department is that we have to come up with that number, right, that we can use as the base number for the sell price, right? And so in order to do that, we need to know if there's any repairs at the house, right? So we have to know what kind of repairs there are and how much it's going to be. So you've got comps, you've got the ARV, and that formula actually, so I can write it down, you can have that here too, is ARV minus repairs equals the Mayo. And the Mayo is called the maximum allowable offer. Now, some people say don't teach this way. You know, this is not the right way to do it, but this is the way that I teach. This is the way that I've been teaching because it's such a quick way to come up with what your acquisitions price is going to be, okay? So the ARV minus repairs equals the Mayo, all right? Okay, so now you have the repair, you have the comps, you have the repairs. Now you've got to come up with, you have to analyze the deal, right? You have to analyze deal. Analyze deal, okay? Right, so you're going to have to like calculate it out on a calculator, or you're going to have a deal spread, an analyzer spreadsheet, or you can have, you can create your own spreadsheet if you want to do that. But essentially, you need to analyze your deal and see what your numbers are. Yeah, right. What's your gross profit? What's your net profit? What's your cash on cash return? And then when you analyze this deal, then you'll come up with your Mayo, right, which is your maximum allowable offer, right? And these are the things that you need in order to come up with that Mayo, right? The Mayo is that what can I offer it number? What number can I offer, okay? So now this right here, when you actually come up with your Mayo, when you come up with your offer, what do? Right after that, you make an offer, right? You make an offer. So in the acquisitions department, the whole step-by-step process is actually utilizing the ARV formula to come up with your comps, your repair estimate, and to analyze your deal so that you can get your Mayo, so that you can make your offer. Because under the acquisitions department, your goal is to make offers, right? You want to make as many offers as you possibly can. All right. Under your marketing department, you need strategies. You need marketing strategies, right? Your office department is to internally manage everything and systematize everything so it runs smoothly, okay? And then you have here on this department, so now that you have your offer, you've made an offer and they've said, yes, let's take this offer. Well, now what do? You need financing. You need money, right? So this is your finance department. And this is where you're going to talk to hard money lenders, private money lenders, transitional funding lenders. You're going to just try to get as much money as you possibly can in order to get the deal. Now, if you are a wholesaler, right, you don't need hard money or private money, but a lot of times you may need transitional funding. You might need to have to, double close or something like this. So, but this is your finance department, and this is where you manage all your finances. Under this department, you also add like your bookkeeper and your accountant as well too, as eventually as you grow your business, you're going to need a bookkeeper and an accountant, right? Because real estate is kind of complicated, right? Who wants to do that? We want to be finding houses and finding money, right? But you can stick the bookkeeper and the accountant into this department as well too. That's where they belong. Okay, and then finally, this department here is the construction department. Now, if you're a wholesaler, then you don't need to do any construction unless you're doing like a prehab to a wholesale deal, which some people do, right? And a prehab is basically just like, I'm going to go in and clean it up a little bit and then I'm going to wholesale it out, right? And so with that, you would have to know how much that costs, all right? But the construction department is where, you know, you're going to have you're hiring your contractors, you're getting your repair estimates, you're getting your scope of work and your spec sheet, you're managing everything that encompasses doing the rehab and doing the work on the property, whatever that is, okay? Now, if you are, for instance, a storage facility owner or a rental owner, and you're just buying a rental that is already like ready to go, right? So you don't have to do any work there. So you would have to eliminate this. Or what I do is I always sometimes I change this one to management, to the management. So for instance, like on the storage facilities that I buy, there's no construction work that's needed, right? So I just supplement that, and I put the management, and then all of my systems for management go right under that box, okay, that department. So anyway, so it depends on what type of business you're doing. If you're wholesaling, you may not need this. If you're rehabbing, you definitely need construction. If you're doing new construction, you need new construction, obviously. If you're a storage facility owner like I am, you do not need construction, you need management. If you're a rental owner, you may need both. You may need to add like another department if you need to, right? You can add a management department, then you have 7 departments. And then finally, this last one here, this is called liquidations. I call it liquidations. Okay, liquidations. And liquidations is just like, how are you going to sell the property? That's it. How are you going to get rid of the property? Right? Are you going to hire a realtor? Are you doing for sale by owner? If you're a wholesaler, you would have a buyer's list, right? You would build your buyer's list up. And this is where you build your buyer's list up. So, buyer's list. So these are the 6 departments that you have in your real estate investing business that you probably don't really know about, right? So my advice to you is to sit down and write these departments down, right? These 6 departments down, and then take some time and just list all of the things that you're doing in each of those departments, right? And you look at them and you say, what am I doing over and over and over again? So let's take, for instance, the marketing department, okay? So you have 3 to 5 marketing strategies here, okay? So, what you would do is say like, okay, I do direct mail, I do bandit signs, and I do Craigslist. Okay, those are my 3 things that I do. Well, you could potentially actually automate all 3 of those, right? And just get those to where they're automated and you're hands off, right? So you could say like, okay, I'm going to send out 200 letters a week, and how can I automate that? For instance, I did when I first started. I was doing the letters myself. A couple of times I did it, and after a couple of times I was like, no way, Jose, I'm not doing this anymore. So I went out and just hired somebody to just mail 200 letters a week for me, right? And I literally would just like send all of the supplies to her. And she was a stay-at-home mom, and she would just sit there and do all of my letters for me every single week, and I would just get the phone calls in. That's it. And for me, that was like a small marketing budget, right? A small marketing budget, but it just took so much time off my hands, so much time that I didn't want to do, right? I didn't want to do that stuff. I wanted to look for houses and look for money. Those are the 2 things I wanted to focus on, right? So my point is that when you create this chart and you list out all the different things that you're doing in your business for each of these departments, you'll visually be able to see, yeah, like I'm doing that over and over again. I'm doing that also over and over again. Like, these are things that I need to figure out. How can I automate those and how can I systematize those? All right. And I'm telling you, that's the first step. That's the easiest step into getting your company to be able to scale up. Right? A lot of people ask me, how do I scale up? I'm going to tell you, this is the very first step. All right. In my coaching programs, this is literally the very first step that I do with all of my students. As I say, write down all the departments and list out every single thing that you're doing in these departments, and let's try to figure out what we can automate. Right? So I have a student that I'm working with right now, and he's sending out 250 letters a week. He's not doing it, but the phones are ringing, right? The phones are ringing because he's not doing that, all right? And so then he has time to analyze deals, and he has time to go out and look at properties and talk to sellers and do all the other things that he has to do. So all that's taken off because he automated it. All right, so that is my tip for today, all right? And I would be very grateful if you actually subscribe to my page. I'm gonna be doing a lot of videos over the course of the next couple of months. I really want to teach as many people as I can, impact as many people as I can out there. And then you're more than welcome to contact us if you want to contact us. And you can put any comments on the YouTube page, and I will comment on those as well too. So again, thank you for your time, and I will see you in the next video.